In their opening game, Arkansas coach Norm DeBryant saw his team come up with the big play at the right time again and again. With South Carolina threatening, relief ace Tim Dietz induced this important double play. Then it was seldom used Keith Kearns, who missed a suicide squeeze one pitch earlier, but he won the game with this single, driving in Norm Roberts, giving Arkansas a 1-0 win over South Carolina in 14 innings. Meanwhile, Ron Polk's Bulldogs had no trouble scoring against Oklahoma State. John Mitchell connected for a 2-run homer in the third. Rafael Palmeiro a 2-run homer in the sixth. Altogether, Mississippi State scored 12 runs. They pounded the Cowboys from Oklahoma State 12-3. Tonight, it gets a lot tougher as they take on Arkansas next. Welcome back once again to Omaha, Nebraska in the 1985 College World Series, a winner's bracket matchup between Mississippi State and Arkansas. A very pleasant good evening, everyone. I'm John Sanders. So far, we have eliminated two teams from this 85 College World Series. South Carolina and Arizona are headed home. This is a key matchup here tonight in the winner's bracket, Game 7 of the College World Series. Working with me tonight is Jim Price, and I talk about the importance of this game. The winning team does not have to play again until Thursday and can finish no worse than fourth in the 85 College World Series, so it is a pivotal ball game.
Well, John, you took the words right out of my mouth, because if you win tonight, the key thing is you get to rest your pitchers 2 days. And in college baseball, once you get past your second, third, or maybe even fourth pitcher, it really starts to thin out a little bit. So it is important you get 2 days rest if you win tonight. Interesting way these two teams got here. An easy victory for Mississippi State. A very tough 14-inning victory for Arkansas. Let's talk first of all about Arkansas. In the heart of their lineup, you have to go to the number 4 spot in the order, Jeff King, because he is the key. He's the key. They're loaded with a lot of good athletes, but this young man can change the game with one swing. He's a team leader in RBIs and home runs, and when he hits them 9 miles. So Jeff Brantley, pitching for Mississippi State tonight, will have to be careful with this young man. Well, Irv Brown is downstairs to talk with the coach of the team, and if you look at Arkansas, a team that played in the tough Southwest Conference, they weren't unknown. A lot of other teams around the country knew about Arkansas coming in. So let's go down right now to Irv Brown, who's with Coach DeBryant to talk about tonight's game. Irv?
Thank you, John. It's been feast or famine, Norm. When you have fielded the ball effectively, you've been a good ball club. When you haven't, it's been tough.
Well, that's true, Irv. We've got out of the chute early this year. We picked up the ball. We had our fielding percentage up to about .971, and then we went into a slump where it seemed like we couldn't pick anything up. And lately, the last month, we've been back on track again.
A lot of people think Norm is shy. I want to show you people down in Arkansas he is not. Give him that Suey yell to show him you're ready.
All right, you're serious? Come on, Razorbacks. Woo! Pig! Suey!
John, you think he isn't ready, huh? Let's see you top that one.
No way we can top that one. He is indeed ready. That's part of college baseball here in Omaha, Nebraska. Let's switch it over now to Mississippi State. Well, you talk about them again, you go to the heart of the batting order, and you talk about thunder and lightning, as we always do. Well, you really do. Will Clark and Rafael Palmeiro, two of the premier hitters ever to play college baseball, and I'll tell you why. Today in the Major League Draft, Will Clark was picked number 2 by the Giants, San Francisco Giants. Rafael Palmeiro went the 22nd pick to the Chicago Cubs. That shows in itself how what fine college hitters these two men are. But it isn't all offense for Mississippi State, because they have an outstanding pitcher going tonight. His name is Jeff Brantley. He spent 4 years at Mississippi State. He's worked very, very hard, and it paid off this year because he made All-American.
Well, I think the All-Americans meant a lot to me, just, because of the work I've put in, in baseball. And it's just taken a long time, and it's finally, come for me. And I think, it's going to help me in the series, just as far as confidence-wise.
Brantley is 17-2 in 85, 44 career wins. According to his coach, he is the best in school history.
Well, I think consistency-wise over career number 1. He's been a tremendous performer for us for 4 solid years, and I think the senior year has just capped an unbelievable career for the young man.
Brantley has improved greatly. He says going to state was the right decision.
Very much so. I think, that was probably my best decision in my life as far as baseball went, because, the coaching that Coach Polk and Coach McMahon have given me and the places they've sent me in the summer to, improve on my baseball.
every year he's gotten a lot better. He came to us as a pitcher shortstop, and we converted him after fall baseball to strictly a pitcher. And his freshman year, he struggled a little bit, as most freshmen do, but after that, he got better as a sophomore and outstanding last year as a junior, and this year first-team All-American. So he's put together 4 great years at Mississippi State.
And the Bulldogs won their first game without Jeff. Everyone thinks State can't lose with him on the mound. That's a lot of pressure.
Well, I do a little bit, but, you know, I pitch better when I'm under pressure. I feel like, you know, as long as I can have everything on my shoulders, then, you know, we'll be all right because I just pitch better that way. I think if the ball game didn't count as much, I wouldn't throw as good.
And while Jeff Brantley could just sit back and rest for this start tonight, not the same thing with Arkansas. They went 14 innings, and they had to use Fred Farwell, who's the starter tonight. He came out of the pen and was actually the winning pitcher in game number 1 for Arkansas. He will be opposing Brantley tonight. It looks like a good matchup.
Well, let's talk about Farwell first. He's had some competitive action in the College World Series. That's going to be a plus for him. But what he's going to try to do tonight against the left-handed power hitters of Mississippi State is establish the fastball inside, go away with the breaking ball. When he gets ahead on the count, look for the breaking ball. Now, on the other hand, Brantley, he's a bulldog. He keeps coming at you. What Arkansas is going to have to be is patient. Not try to overswing. Take what Brantley will give him.
Third meeting of the year between Arkansas and Mississippi State, but this is the most important because it's the College World Series for 1985, and it is Game 7 coming your way. Arkansas, Mississippi State. We'll be back to Rosenblatt Stadium in Omaha, Nebraska to continue ESPN's coverage of the 1985 College World Series. We are just about set for Game 7 of the 1985 College World Series, Mississippi State and Arkansas here in Rosenblatt Stadium. For the Razorbacks of Arkansas, it's been a record-setting year. 50 wins, that is a new all-time high. Here's the lineup that will be facing Jeff Brantley tonight. Leading off and playing right field is Ralph Krause. In the number 2 spot is the first baseman, Dave Patterson. Batting third is the DH. The question about whether he would play tonight, Mike Loggins. Third base, it's Jeff King. In left field, Norm Roberts. The center fielder tonight is Mark Jackson. Batting 7th and playing shortstop is Derek Richardson. Batting 8th and catching is Doyle Wilson. And batting 9th and playing second base is Ellis Roby. That's the lineup for Arkansas tonight. And we'll check out the defense for the Bulldogs of Mississippi State. Will Clark, high draft pick number 2 today at first base. It'll be Clark at first base. Second base is Gator Thiessen.
And they need this man on base to make the offense go.
The shortstop is Frank Davis. Third base, it is John Scott. And in left field, Rafael Palmeiro, the 22nd player taken in the draft today. Center field is Dan Van Cleve.
And he is quite a defensive player. They'll need his big glove tonight.
And in right field, it's Bobby Thigpen. Behind the plate, Rourke McDonald. And out on the mound with a record of 17-2, 44 career victories, is Jeff Brantley, the right-hander, a senior from Birmingham, Alabama. 17-2 with 1 save, and we ask his coach about what kind of a pitcher he is.
Jeff Brantley, we consider an outstanding college pitcher. He's somewhat of a power pitcher, even though he's a small guy, but he throws strikes, he gets ahead in the count, and he's got a breaking pitch that he can get over the plate most of the time. He doesn't walk anybody, and the great thing about Jeff, he holds runners on, fields his position well, and he loves to pitch, and he's a winner.
He has been a winner for Mississippi State. Mississippi State facing Arkansas tonight, third meeting of the year between the two teams. Number 44, Ralph Krause will lead it off, the right fielder. Ralph is a junior from Plano, Texas, 6 feet even, 185 pounds. Bats from the left side. Ralph Krause to lead it off against Jeff Brantley. Jeff Brantley has struck out 124 batters in 128 2/3 innings. He has walked only 37, an outstanding ratio.
Well, the fans across the country are going to enjoy watching him tonight because he's a bulldog. He keeps coming at you, and Coach Polk said the key thing. He pitches ahead in the count. And I'll tell you, you can be a real good pitcher when you get ahead of the batters.
We're underway in Game 7, a called strike 1 for the first pitch of the ball game. Arkansas, Mississippi State trying to move on to a game on Thursday and continue in the winner's bracket. The winner of this game will play Thursday at the same time. It will be a 7:10 game here in Omaha, Nebraska Central Time. The loser of this game drops down to play Stanford on Wednesday. So the key here, the extra day of rest if you can win. It's 0-2 on Ralph Krause. 2 for 5 in the College World Series, both singles. Brantley 5'10", 175. Fouls it back. Count remains 1-2. 50 victories at Arkansas, and they're very proud of their facility. Razorbacks, George Cole Field. And nighttime baseball came to Arkansas for the first time this year, '85, after the installation of some fine lighting system, and it was made possible by a contribution by some former Razorback players. The list includes Tim Lawler, Johnny Ray, Kevin McReynolds, as well as those players' agent Tom Salakovich. And so thanks to them, and they're doing something for their schools as they look back. These are the lights in Rosenblatt Stadium, Omaha, Nebraska. Very pleasant evening once again. The wind is finally calmed down a little bit. It's been a windy weekend in Omaha. Hit hard into right center field. On the move is Van Cleve. Can't get there. It'll roll to the wall. On his way to second is Krause. He'll go to third. A stand-up leadoff triple for Ralph Krause. A great effort by Van Cleve. He just came up a little bit short.
Well, Krause really tattooed this ball. It's a line shot. It's in right center field, and Van Cleve, who has super speed, makes a great try on it, just misses, making a great catch. He was able to get up then and hustle after the ball, but by the time they could get the ball and track it down, Krause was all the way around to third base.
Well, that's the way the game begins. A chance immediately for Arkansas. It took the Razorbacks 14 innings to score their first run, and their only run thus far in the College World Series. Dave Patterson, the first baseman, the batter, went 2 for 6 on Friday. Both these teams are winning their opening matchups on Friday, coming back on Monday. No balls, 1 strike. Infield is playing back. Jim, they're going to give up the run to get the out.
Well, they don't want to see Arkansas get off to a big inning. They're going to sacrifice the run to take the out. Defense back all the way around.
A little bit inside, 2-1.
Dave Patterson's been a hot hitter for the Hogs.
For Brantley, his 18th start of the season. He's gone the distance 8 times, including 3 shutouts. Throws a strike there. It's 2-2.
When a batter takes a pitch like that right down the middle, you know he was guessing and looking for something else. Now you don't guess. You protect the plate.
A 2-2 pitch. Got him away. Strikeout number 1 for Brantley. Umpiring crew in Omaha. Behind the plate, it is Gus Steiner. Richard Civic is down at first. Dan Pedersen at second. And Murray Stray, a veteran of the College World Series, is over at third. The batter, Mike Loggins. 0 for 6 in game 1, batting on the season .354, and a big question mark about whether he would be able to play because of an injury, Jim.
Well, it was kind of a strange play. He was it was in the regional in Tallahassee, and he swung, and the bat came around and hit himself on the ankle, on the inside of his left ankle, and like you said, I wasn't sure he was able to play tonight, but he's in there.
2 balls and no strikes. Mike Loggins at the plate with a .354 average. Oh, 3-0. Brantley walked only 37 men in 128 2/3 innings coming into this game. A runner at third, nobody out. Krause opened the game with a triple. Now it's 3-1. Full count.
Well, the infield's still going to play back, John. They're going to again sacrifice that run if they can get another out. All the way around, deep at second, really deep at second, playing a little bit on the grass, and of course at first base, Will Clark.
It is 3-2. Brantley trying to battle back after the leadoff triple. Check the coaching lines for both teams. Dave Van Horn, outstanding college player, is now the graduate assistant. He'll work first. And Dave Jorn. No, I'm sorry, that's Dave Clark over third. Three balls, two strikes. One out, one on. A leadoff triple for Krause. He's at third. Pops it down the left field line. Palmeiro coming over near the bleacher area. Runs out of room.
You heard Coach Ron Polk talk about Brantley before the game, and he said he was a power pitcher, but it's interesting. He's only going to throw 84, 85, 86. The reason he's a power pitcher is he challenges you. He comes right at you. He doesn't try to play games with you. He's going to challenge you. You hit what I got, and he's sneaky. The ball gets up on you a little bit faster than that 84, 85 miles an hour would indicate.
It's still 3-2 with one out. Hit into left center field. Van Cleve a long way to run again. He makes the catch. Tagging and heading home is Krause. And Arkansas has a 1-0 lead. Sacrifice fly off the bat of Mike Loggins. The Razorbacks have the lead.
Good piece of hitting by Loggins. Van Cleve went a long way to get that ball. He can pick him up and lay him down. No chance at all to get the runner at home plate. But credit Loggins because he didn't try to do anything fancy, John. He just tried to get the ball out in the outfield to score the runner at third base.
He did his job. Now we go to Jeff King. We talked about Jeff at the beginning of the ball game. 353 average for him. Got some power, 16 homers and 80 runs batted in.
And I'm sorry, John, I was going to say the book on him is that he hits the better pitchers better than he hits the average pitchers. Some fellows are like that, and usually your top hitters in the major leagues can handle the top pitchers.
1-2 as he wastes one. Arkansas has taken a 1-0 lead. The Razorbacks 14 innings to score on Friday, and they score in the first inning of Game 7. A called strike 3, and the inning is over. But Arkansas comes up with a run on a triple and a sacrifice fly. They break through against Jeff Brantley and take a 1-0 lead. So it'll be the first chance now for Mississippi State. They're down by a run as they come up in the bottom half of the first. They have some work to do. They'd like one more victory, at least, here in Omaha. Tonight, the Bulldogs of Mississippi State under Ron Polk have a chance to set a Southeast Conference record with their 50th win of the season. Here's his lineup. Leading off and playing center field is Dan Van Cleve, a senior from Jackson, Mississippi. Batting second and playing second is Gator Thiessen, a senior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Batting third is the first baseman, Will Clark, a junior from New Orleans, Louisiana. Batting cleanup, playing left field, Rafael Palmeiro, a junior from Miami, Florida. Batting fifth and playing right field, Bobby Thigpen, a senior from Monticello, Florida. Batting sixth is the designated hitter, John Mitchell, a sophomore from Corinth, Mississippi. Batting seventh and catching is Rourke McDonald, a junior from Huntsville, Alabama. Batting eighth and playing third base, John Scott, a junior from Jackson, Tennessee. And batting ninth is the shortstop, Frank Davis, a senior from Port Orange, Florida. Now let's check out the defense for Arkansas. Dave Patterson at first.
And John, even though he struck out the first time, he's been a tournament player, MVP in the Southwest Conference and the South 2 Region on 2 hits the first game.
And right beside him at second base is Ellis Roby.
And he had some super defensive plays in the first game, John.
Shortstop is Derek Richardson. It is Jeff King at third base. There you are. And the outfield, Norm Robertson left. Center field is Mark Jackson. And it's Ralph Krause in right field. a mistake on the name there, but it's Ralph Krause in right field. Behind the plate is Doyle Wilson. And out on the mound, his first complete game victory of the year was against this ball club of Mississippi State, the left-hander Fred Farwell, a junior from Nashua, New Hampshire. He's a left-hander. Let's find out more about him as we talk to his head coach, Norm DeBryan.
Fred Farwell, our starting pitcher tonight. Basically, Fred is a finesse-type pitcher. He's the type of guy that's got to get his breaking ball over, keep his fastball down, and change speeds to be effective. He was this the last time against Mississippi State. We're hoping for the same kind of performance tonight.
Of course, he had a big lead in that game. 12-1, I think, was the final score. It was a blowout, and he went all the way, kind of cruised to victory. Might be a little different in a tight game, although he has been staked to a 1-0 lead already here as we go to the bottom half of inning number 1. And at first base, Tim Sumner. And Ron Polk is over at third.
Well, John, Farwell is a real good competitor, and like Brantley, he comes right at you also. He likes to get ahead in the count, and he's sneaky fast.
12-3 on Friday, a big victory for Mississippi State. Maybe surprised some people a little bit, even though they were one of the teams that certainly was in the rankings all year, much recognized and mentioned because of Clark and Palmero. But they've come on strong. They are the South 1 regional champions, the Razorbacks from the South 2 regional. Van Cleve batting .358, has 4 homers, 41 RBIs. This is start number 18 on the season for Farwell, a record of 11-1. A nifty 3.08 earned run average. Called strike. It'll be interesting to see him work against Clark and Palmero. I mean, it's easy to say this is what I want to do, but doing it is another thing sometimes.
Van Cleve is a classic leadoff hitter. He has a good eye, and he hits the ball to all the fields. He doesn't try to pull it.
Had a good game 1, 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs against Oklahoma State on Friday.
Good all-around player.
Hits it on the ground, up the middle, base hit. So a leadoff single for Van Cleve here in roomy Rosenblatt Stadium in Omaha, Nebraska. And when I say roomy, we're talking down the lines 343. Swings out to 370 in the power alleys. It is a ton to center at 420. Same dimensions on the right side, 370 and 343 as we swing it back for you. Runner at first, nobody out in the bottom half of the first. Mississippi State trying to come right back. Ralph Krause opened the game with a triple, scored on a sacrifice fly for the Arkansas run. So now it's the Bulldogs. Gator Thiessen batting .306 with 42 runs batted in. He was 1 for 6 with an RBI. And the win over Oklahoma State. Puts a strike at the knees. It's 0-2.
Those graphics kind of tell it all about Fred Farwell.
Chopped it foul. Still no balls and 2 strikes.
We're going to see a variety of pitches tonight from Farwell. He'll change speeds on every pitch he has. He has a straight change, a good moving fastball, and then he'll throw the breaking ball with different variations.
Runner going, throw to second is not in time, and in with the stolen base is Van Cleve. That's what he does best. 37 out of 48 now for Dan Van Cleve. Down on strikes at the plate is Gator Thiessen, but the runner moves up anyway. The pitch, not an easy one for the catcher.
Well, it was a tough one, and I also have to mention Van Cleve got a good jump, but Wilson came out of there throwing pretty good. The ball is just off the target just a little bit, allowing Van Cleve to get in. You can see where the second baseman has to get it and then bring it back, but Van Cleve did have a good jump.
So that sets the stage for Will Clark, who was 3 for 4, scored twice. Third ball. Stays inside. It's 1-0.
One of the things you're going to notice right away about Will Clark is he's a back foot hitter, a patient hitter. Doesn't try to pull the ball. He uses all fields. Pick number 2 today by the San Francisco Giants.
Again, the breaking pitch stays inside. Well, we have thunder at the plate and lightning on deck. And Palmeiro. Finally got the curve over. It's 2-1.
Well, he's thrown 3 straight breaking balls. The first 2 missed, and that one was a dandy. Remember now, he wants to establish the fastball in.
Three balls and 1 strike. One out. Van Cleve at second. Clark grounds it to first base. Patterson with the put out there. Van Cleve moves to third. So the tying run at third with 2 outs for Mississippi State in the bottom half of the first inning. A 1-0 ball game as the Razorbacks jumped ahead. A triple and a sacrifice fly in the top half of the first inning. Game 7 of the '85 College World Series. The winner plays Thursday night, and as I said, can do no worse than finish 4th in this NCAA championship event, the final of the NCAA championship events. Palmeiro had a home run in that opening victory over Oklahoma State. It was his only hit, 2-run homer. On the year, his average at .303, and he has 20 home runs now. Same kind of pitching pattern we saw at Clark.
But he is a completely different hitter than Clark. Will Clark hits off the back foot. Palmeiro is a front foot hitter, but you will notice, even though he hits off the front foot, he keeps his hands back, and he's got quick hands. He looks a lot like Keith Hernandez of the Mets, too, John.
Batting with the tying run at third, 2 outs. Fouls it out of play down the left field line. Irv Brown is down that way. Irv?
Jim, it looks like the left-hander's overstriding a little bit on the curveball. You notice he's hanging a lot of them, and it looks like they'll cut his stride down, and they're indicating that over in the dugout. Maybe he can get his problem squared away.
Well, these coaches here on top of everything. I wasn't able to notice that up here, but that's a good point, Irv.
Well, that's why we have Irv down there to pick up those things.
Well, and the coaches, too. We talk so much about college coaching. It has improved so much over the last few years.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. A runner on. The Bulldogs looking to tie. Got that one in on him. Good location, really tied him up for strike 2.
And that gets you thinking as a hitter. See that good breaking curveball, then the fastball in on you. I'll tell you, it's a guessing game right now, but he's up there to protect the plate.
Curveball. Again, grounded to Patterson at first. That'll do it. So a base hit, but no damage by Mississippi State in the bottom half of inning number 1. It is 1-0. Arkansas leading here in Omaha, Nebraska. We'll move on. Roberts, Jackson, Richardson coming up. The Hogs lead the Dogs 1-0 as we go to the top of the second inning. Oh, they come from all over to Omaha, Nebraska. You know, I noticed early on this week I guess it's a trailer that's parked out in front of van from Arkansas. They staked down a spot right by the entrance to Rosenblatt Stadium, and they have set up shop there for the week.
They hope to be there all week.
Well, the way they're going, they might. Second inning, 1 hit in the ball game for Arkansas. It was a good one. A triple by Krause to start the game. Scored on a sacrifice fly by Mike Loggins, who picked up his 59th RBI of the season. And Norm Roberts, batting .335 with 13 homers and 42 RBIs, was 2 for 6 in Arkansas's 14-inning squeaker against South Carolina. Interesting stay here for South Carolina. They lost 1-0 in 14 innings. And then they were pounded by Oklahoma State into submission as they were eliminated from the College World Series. Oklahoma State beat them 16-11. How about the speed of the pitcher? Well, let's find out from Irv Brown.
Right now, the guy we're watching, Bradley, his best is 83, and he'll get that up a little bit more than that. Fred Farwell is thrown at 85. The guy who gave me that, Bob Oldus. I'll pick it up, John.
Line drive to Clark. You can continue. That's one out.
Thank you. Anyway, Bob Oldus, the scout from Montreal, pretty happy. They have drafted Pete Incaviglia from Oklahoma State. They have the best home run hitter in all of college baseball.
Okay, thank you very much. It was hit hard, but right at Clark, and that will bring up Mark Jackson, the center fielder. Did not have a hit in the game against South Carolina. Called strike one to him. The other team that's been eliminated, Arizona, and they simply ran into some hot pitchers in losing their 2 ball games, and Jerry Kindle said as much after the game last night. They fell to Texas, and then on Sunday night eliminated by Stanford. Neither one of these teams will go home. One of them drops into the losers bracket to return on Wednesday. The winner advances to a big game on Thursday night. Off the end of the bat, rolled right in front of the plate to Brantley. 2 outs.
26.
So Jeff Brantley,
Richardson, shortstop.
who in addition to 17 and 2 on his win-loss column has 1 save. This was just a little squiggly one right out in front of the plate.
Well, you know, you'll notice his stance. He's real close to the plate. There's been a tendency in recent years for hitters to back off, but his hands are almost on the inside part of the plate. He's up there to challenge a pitcher. Didn't work out that time, but he'll be up at bat again. Hit it right off the end of the bat. He pulled the string just a little bit on that one.
Batter is Derek Richardson. He takes a called strike one. Derek in the number 7 spot in the order.
Remember now, this infield, even though it was cut yesterday, the infield is slow, and these young guys from Arkansas can bunt and push the ball, push bunt.
But that one jumped up on the gun a little bit. 0-2. Richardson, a senior from Fort Smith, Arkansas, 6'1", 180. We're still looking for his first hit in the College World Series. That round goes to Jeff Brantley. 1, 2, 3. We've played an inning and a half. In Omaha, it's 1-0 Arkansas from Mississippi State. Bobby Thigpen, John Mitchell. Rourke McDonald will try to do something about that hog lead. We come back for the second inning, and we will give you a good idea of what Fred Farwell is all about, and the difference in his style when he throws fastball and when he throws curveball.
Well, you think it's easy stepping in there against a left-hander. On the left side of your screen, you're going to see Fred Farwell throw a fastball. Now watch the angle of his arm where he releases the ball. Right there, you see the elbow back, and then the hand follows through. Now, on the right side of your screen, you're going to see a curveball. Pretend you're the hitter. You don't know what's coming. Same high leg kick, same elbow back, right from the same position. That's why hitting is so difficult and why pitchers can be so successful when they throw out of the same angle. The release is the same. It's very difficult to tell if it's a fastball, breaking ball, or changeup. And Fred Farwell is a perfect example of that, John.
Bobby Thigpen, the batter, 303 the average, 8 homers, 52 runs batted in. Called strike one.
And remember also the left-hander, from the angle he throws from, high like that, coming inside to a right-handed hitter, tough on right-handed hitters also.
That one's too far outside to Bobby Thigpen.
There are not enough of left-handed pitchers in all of baseball. They are at a premium.
Skips up there. 2-1.
John, I guess I should say they're at a premium if they can get the ball over the plate, because left-handers have been notorious for being a little bit wild because their ball moves so much.
With his strikeout, the walk ratio coming in 89 to 47. He has 1 strikeout tonight, no walks. That one's hit hard to shortstop Ellis Roby. And that's the way the second begins, with a ground out to second by Bobby Thigpen. And the designated hitter, John Mitchell, will be the batter. Just 1 hit so far of Fred Farwell. 246 is average with 10 homers and 49 runs batted in. And Mitchell hit a home run in the first game for Mississippi State in the College World Series, a 2-run homer.
And it was one he turned on. It was a fastball in on him, and he's a young sophomore, and they think he's got a bright future.
Strike 2 on the breaking pitch. 0-2 now. Tried to get him to go fishing. He would not do it. It's 1-2. Farwell's first complete game, I mentioned, came against Mississippi State this year. It was when he really started to get in his groove a little bit, and they found out that he could be a 9-inning pitcher. He's had 6 complete games on the season. That one's hit high into center field. Jackson, 2 outs.
Well, John, this is the first time I've seen him, and the thing I like about him, he pitches with a lot of confidence. Even though he might hang a breaking ball or one will slip out of his hand, he'll come right back with just a better pitch. So he's in control out there. He knows what he can do, and he does get the ball over the plate.
Rourke McDonald, 244 average for the season coming into this game. Also still looking for his first hit in the College World Series. He may have been 0 for 1, but he got on base plenty, and he scored 3 runs in that 12-3 victory over Oklahoma State on Friday.
The big reason he's in the lineup, he is just fantastic behind the plate. But he's been hot lately. He's been swinging the bat pretty good.
2 outs and nobody on in the second inning. Arkansas leading here 1-0. Count evens out at 1 ball and 1 strike. Mississippi State, under Coach Dan Polk, could become the first team in the Southeast Conference to have a 50 victory season if they could win here. Let's take another look here.
Well, this is that high leg kick, and just imagine you're up at the plate. The big sweeping curveball catches the outside part of the plate.
It's 3 balls and 1 strike to Rourke McDonald. Ron Polk, the coach, is now in his 10th season there. 388 and 165 record, but he also took his team to the College World Series at Georgia Southern. That's the first walk of the ball game.
Number 7, John Scott.
John Scott now, the number 8 batter, will step in. 231 on the season, still looking for his first College World Series hit. Drove in a run on a fielder's choice. Drops low, ball 1. Coach Ron Polk has also worked at the University of New Mexico, Miami-Dade South Community College, then to Georgia Southern, now to Mississippi State. His second trip with the Bulldogs to the College World Series, the 79 team. 81, also in 71. Never gotten very far, a record of 2-6 in College World Series play. The runner at first, McDonald walked with 2 outs. It's now John Scott at the plate. Into center field. Jackson backs up. Now comes in. Side retired. A walk, a man left in the bottom of the second. After 2 in Omaha, Nebraska, the College World Series, Arkansas leading Mississippi State 1-0. In the third, it'll be Doyle Wilson, Ellis Roby, and then the top of the order, Ralph Krause. So far, it's been Farwell's night here in Omaha, Game 7. He'll try to keep it going for Arkansas. Well, what does a member of our crew do on his day off? Well, he comes to the ballpark with his family. That's Paul Splittorff in the middle with the glasses, and his family on his right. Bruce Connell, one of our producers, on the left. Glad to see they made it out here, trying to get ready for more action coming up from Omaha, Nebraska. Paul will go back to work Tuesday night with Sam Rosen in game number 8, matchup between Miami and Texas here on ESPN. Right now we're in the top half of inning number 3. Doyle Wilson, the catcher, will take his hacks for the first time.
Catcher.
Doyle batting .339 with a homer and 36 runs batted in. He has 1 hit and 5 at-bats in the College World Series.
And John, the coaching staff for Arkansas considers this young man the guts of their team.
Called strike. Again tonight, a good pitching matchup. Had others. An excellent matchup between Arizona and Texas. He went around. He was strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. At this point in the ball game, Brantley has struck out 3. 2 in the first inning, 1 in the second inning. We're in the third. His team is down a run. One and 2.
I'm sure the fans at home have recognized already how fast these two pitchers are. They get the ball back. They want to throw it right back to the catcher again.
Well, they're out there for one reason only.
It's nice to see, too, John.
Well, it drives you crazy. You wait around and wait around. Gator Thiessen at second. 1 out in the third inning.
Well, it makes your defense play better behind you. You have a pitcher out there that walks around the mound, rubs the ball, moves around. Give me the ball, let's get it and throw it back, and the defense behind you is always on their toes.
Ellis Roby now at the plate, the second baseman, batting for the first time in this game. Ellis's average is .285 for the year, 4 homers, 42 RBIs. He's 0 for 3 in the College World Series. Swing and a miss. Irv Brown is downstairs. Irv?
Boy, I like this Brantley. Jim pointed out he's a bulldog. He'd hardly talk to me before the ballgame because he wasn't drafted in the first 2 rounds. Interesting, fellas, he threw this summer with Fred Farwell up in Alaska, and that's the only time I saw him smile when Farwell was kibitzing with him. This guy likes the pitch. There's no monkey business at all. I haven't seen him smile but once today.
The Razorbacks and the Bulldogs going at it here in Omaha, Nebraska. Top of the third. Nobody on, 1 out. The only run came in the first inning. Krause opened the ball game with a triple to right center field and scored on a sacrifice fly by Mike Loggins.
Ellis Roby, when he first came to Arkansas, was strictly a right-handed hitter, and the Arkansas coaching staff made him a switch hitter. That time it didn't help.
Down on strikes. That's 4 so far for Brantley.
Top of the order.
And we'll turn it over and go to the top of the order for Ralph Krause. He is the 1 Razorback who's had some success.
Not only does Farwell want to establish the inside pitch, Brantley also has to pitch inside. A high riser ties up Roby. He couldn't get it.
2 outs. Krause tripled and scored in the first inning. Called strike right at the knees. The other thing that both pitchers are doing early in this ballgame is throwing strikes.
Well, we knew that coming into the game, that they do pitch ahead, and that again is another important thing for your defense.
Ground ball to short. Davis. An easy inning. Second consecutive time the Razorbacks have gone down in order. Bottom of the third coming up with Arkansas leading Mississippi State 1-0. Davis. Then we go back to the top of the order again. We'll continue to scuff up the baseballs here in Omaha, Nebraska with Game 8, Miami and Texas. It's Tuesday night live, 8 o'clock Eastern time, 5 o'clock out on the West Coast. A great matchup, 2 perennial powerhouses, Miami and Texas. Can the Texas pitching stop the hot bats of Miami? We'll find out tomorrow night. Sam Rosen will have that game along with Paul Spidorf tomorrow night.
New York Sam, he's here at the ballpark also. How about those records they founded up there on the screen, John? 61 wins for Texas and 60 for Miami.
Frank Davis with a .260 average, 2 for 3 in the College World Series, opens up the bottom of the third inning. The Bulldogs have but 1 hit. It came in the first, a leadoff single for Van Cleve. Off the pitcher's glove, retreating is Roby to throw him out. Roby started one way. When Farwell tipped the ball, he had to come back the other way. So score at 1-4-3 on the putout.
Well, the ball was hit pretty hard. Farwell gets his glove on it. 1 hop off his glove. They consider Roby, the second baseman, the best athlete on the team. He was going far to his right to get the ball. He was able to regroup and get back and make it into an easy play. Top of the order, Van Cleve. Dan with the only hit so far for Mississippi State. He singled in the first.
The other base runner was Rourke McDonald, who walked in the second. That's been it against Fred Farwell. Also, Van Cleve picked up a stolen base, his 37th of the year. Grounds it to second baseman Roby. He battles it a little bit, comes up, throws him out. To dig that one out.
First time up, Van Cleve hit the ball the exact same places. We take a look at Roby getting a good jump on the ball, but he loses his footing just a little bit. Remember, the infield is soft, but again, he doesn't panic, makes a good throw to first base to get to Speedy Van Cleve.
So 2 assists in the inning so far for Ellis Roby. To Gator Thiessen, who struck out his first time up. 1-0 Arkansas leads Mississippi State here in the bottom of the third. The hits are even at 1 apiece. That's hit down the line and right, but it's slicing into the bleacher area. Another good gathering here in Omaha tonight at Rosenblatt Stadium. College World Series for '85 coming into tonight ahead of the all-time attendance record. We'll see how they do. There's a bump, and it is a dandy. Catcher cannot throw him out. So Thiessen gets the second hit for Mississippi State. He bunts. Good job by Doyle Wilson coming out to pick up the ball and make the throw. Just couldn't do it in time. The bunt was too good.
It was a perfect pitch to bunt. It's a breaking ball about ankle high. You couldn't ask for anything better than that. He hit it off the end of the bat. Now Wilson pops out behind the mound, behind the plate, and he hops on the ball and he throws a rocket to first base. But again, the bunt was just too good. Perfect pitch right down the line, about a quarter of the way down. Wilson's all over it. No way to get Thigpen, who runs pretty well for a big man. But again, this young man here is the guts of this team. He really is neat behind the plate. You got to watch him, enjoy him, how he moves behind the plate, inside it out, and really controls his pitcher. The outside part of the plate right now.
So the table is set for Will Clark. He fouls it back. Clark grounded out to first base his first time up. 1-1 on him. Scored a couple of runs in his opening game, the 12-3 victory on Friday over Oklahoma State. The Cowboys have battled back. They're still in it. They eliminated South Carolina 16-11 on Sunday. So Oklahoma State is still here.
Still with pitching problems.
Good throw over. Gator Thiessen has only 6 stolen bases this year, 6 out of 8. Does not run nearly as much as Dan Van Cleve, for example, the man ahead of him in the batting order. See if they try anything with 2 outs, 1-1 on Clark. Clark fouls it off again.
I did get mixed up a little bit. That is Gator Thiessen at first base. He runs well also, John.
We have more interested spectators. Here is Cliff Gustafson of Texas. His team ready to battle Miami.
You know, and he's happy.
Night.
He's happy too. Just kidding with you, Gus.
Again, the throw over to first by Farwell.
He has a good time, but he takes this College World Series very seriously.
Well, a chance for him to look at a couple of teams he might be meeting down the line in Omaha. Breaking ball hit deep to right center field. Jackson to the warning track to the wall. It's off the wall as he slams into the wall. The run will score for the Bulldogs. The game is tied at 1. Clark is at third. A tremendous effort by the center fielder Jackson. The Bulldogs have tied the game. Clark with a triple and the game is tied. So triples have played a factor in each of the runs scored thus far.
Well, you watch Will Clark. He sits back and waits for it. It's a hanging curveball. Look how he extends his hands, and he hit it a long way. We thought it had a chance to get out. But Jackson, the center fielder, crashes into the wall. For a second, we thought he was going to make the play, but he just missed it. One other shot at it. He goes head first into the wall. It's in his glove, but when he hits the wall, the ball bounces out. Will Clark goes into third base with a triple, and just like that, the game is tied.
Ground ball to second. Roby throws out another one. The inning is over, but Clark with a triple has tied the game. The center fielder bounced off the wall, then bounced up. He'll come back. It's a tie game as we go to the 4th inning here in Omaha, Nebraska. Patterson, Loggins, and King due up. This was a very big day for some young men. This was draft day. B.J. Surhoff, as expected, went to the Brewers #1. Will Clark, who just rattled the boards with a triple, went to San Francisco. Bobby Witt, pitcher for Oklahoma, to Texas. Barry Larkin of Michigan goes to Cincinnati. Kurt Brown from Glendale, California, to the White Sox. Those are the first 5. Then Barry Bonds, of course, from Arizona State to the Pirates. Mike Campbell went to Seattle Mariners. Pete Incaviglia was the 8th player selected from Oklahoma State to the Expos. Michael Pell, a relief pitcher for Texas, to the Cleveland Indians. Chris Gwynn goes to the Los Angeles Dodgers. The top 10 picks in today's baseball draft, and 7 of those 10 players appeared here on ESPN on our road to Omaha this year. Well, things have livened up a little bit in the Mississippi State section, and no wonder. The game is tied 1-1.
Lead off, number 6, Dave Patterson, first base.
As we go to the 4th, Patterson opens it up. He struck out his first time up. Ground ball to the 3rd baseman. John Scott can't come up with it. So Mississippi State will be charged with an error. Scott could not handle the bouncing ball.
Well, John Scott is normally a good fielder, but this is one of those in-between hops. It's a do-or-die play. He knew right away he had to charge it and get it in the in-between hop. If he waits, he's not going to throw the runner out.
So the batter will be Mike Loggins. Sacrifice fly to drive in the Arkansas run in the 1st inning. Inside to Mike. Runner at first is Patterson. On the error for Mississippi State, that is error number 101 on the season. Arkansas as a team has committed 87 errors. Both these teams good defensively.
Well, they're very sound ball clubs, and an important factor of it has been their pitching. They have a couple really good pitchers who throw strikes and work quickly, and we have 2 here tonight, John.
We're in the 4th. 1-1 is our score. Man on the mound, Jeff Brantley, has an excellent move to first base, too.
Matter of fact, on some of our games on the road to Omaha this season, several of the coaches told us that Arkansas would be one of the premier teams in the country, and now they are here in the College World Series.
Well, coaches were right, obviously. Bunted foul. Of course, so many things can happen to a team on the road to Omaha that you don't know about. Injuries, that type of thing. Then you get into the regionals. First, you have to qualify for the regionals. Then you have to go in and win your regionals. Only the top teams in the country are selected for those regionals. If you make it through the regionals, then you have to come here.
And your problems just begin.
That's
but
right.
Also, some conferences, like the Southwest Conference, they have a tournament or a conference championship before they get to the regionals.
That's true, too. So you have to go through the conference tournament, the regionals. Arkansas won the Southwest Conference tournament over Texas. The Longhorns fans will tell you that, hey, they already had an at-large bid, knew they were hosting a regional. Sure, it doesn't matter to the folks at Arkansas.
Nobody out, and with Brantley on the mound, he's about a 1-1-1-2 delivery to the plate, so he's quick coming to home plate.
2-1 to Loggins. Loggins ground ball through the right side, base hit. Patterson around second, stops for a minute, then goes on to 3rd. Runners at the corners. One thing we're going to have to kind of keep an eye on is the way John Scott plays at 3rd base. He plays as far off the line at 3rd as anybody I've seen so far in this tournament. He gives the batters a lot of the line. Now, maybe that goes with the pitching style of Brantley, that they're not going to be able to pull the ball down the line, but he plays well off the line at 3rd base. Here's Jeff King from Colorado Springs, Colorado.
In the later innings, that could really tell the story, John.
Well, he may be moved in the later innings, too. A lot of distance between the 3rd baseman and the line.
Boy, there's a good shot of it right there.
Batter at the plate is Jeff King. Called out on strikes his first time up. Grounds it through the left side, base hit. Arkansas regains the lead 2-1. And the Razorbacks have runners at 1st and 2nd. Still nobody out in the inning. An error and 2 hits. Arkansas back on top. King gets the RBI. We talked about him at the start of the game. And for Jeff, it is RBI number 81. He's having an outstanding season. The other thing to look for is no quick activity in the bullpen for Mississippi State.
Well, John, that's because Brantley's their #1 pitcher. He's their winner. He can lose it for an inning or two, but then he'll fight his way back. Coach Ron Polk will stay with him a lot longer than you would normally see a coach stay with a pitcher.
Norm Roberts lined out hard to the first baseman in his only at-bat here tonight. 2-1. Arkansas leading Mississippi State. Top of the 4th inning in Omaha, Nebraska. I'm John Sanders with Jim Price and Irv Brown, and we are delighted to have you with us tonight. Stay with us through the rest of the week as we take you to the championship round of the College World Series. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I think that was one of the better fastballs that Brantley has thrown. He reared back and got a little extra on that one. He got a little extra in no way. Boy, that ball was right by the batter.
Runners at first and second. Nobody out. A run in. Rolled up the middle. At short, it's Davis for 1 on the first double play. Going to third is Loggins. They tried to come back to get him, but he is still there. So the double play recorded by the shortstop made to order for him. The man at second heading for third on the play while the double play is being completed. Let's see what happens, Jim.
Well, the ball is at Will Clark right now at first base, and really a good play by John Scott. That almost was a wild throw, but Will Clark being aggressive out there, trying to get the runner at third base.
The runner is at third with 2 outs now for Mark Jackson. Jackson bounced back to the pitcher his first time up. He bounced off the wall 1 inning ago trying to chase down a Will Clark triple. Loggins at third with 2 outs. The inning started when Patterson reached on an error. Then singles by Loggins and King. Patterson scored on the play. There's Will Clark.
Well, he was picked #2 today by the San Francisco Giants, not only for his bat, but his defensive skills, and he's got a good arm.
At the knees.
He wants respect defensively. I know Coach Ron Polk told us down in Starkville that some of the scouts said, well, can he play the outfield? And Coach Polk says, hey, what are you worried about the outfield? The way he can dance at first base. Complete ball player.
And after King's base hit had driven in the go-ahead run for Arkansas, Roberts bounced into that double play, leaving Loggins at third with 2 outs. It's 1-2 on the batter, Mark Jackson. Came with a high hard one, didn't he, Irv?
He really did. Hey, you're talking about Clark. You only chew 6 pieces of bubble gum at a time. Little superstitious, just a shade. Incidentally, his daddy said, Jim Price, the next time that you come down to Mississippi, you better bring me. He wants to cook up those catfish.
I can't wait, believe me.
2-2 with 2 outs. Rolled foul.
Irv Brown, of course, talking about all the fine folks in Starkville. They call it the left field lounge. They treat baseball and sports down there the way it's supposed to be treated. They have a good time. Look for this young man in the big leagues in the near future, wouldn't you say, John?
I would say so. Of course, you look at the Mississippi State yearbook. There's not a baseball player on the cover. There's not a baseball or a bat or a mask or a glove or anything like that. It's
the left field lounge.
Left field lounge. 2-2 on Jackson with 2 outs. Trying to pick up Mike Loggins at third. Pops a foul right back over our heads and out of play. Our broadcast position is located up on the roof of the grandstand in Rosenblatt Stadium, right behind home plate.
I think Brantley is still searching for it a little bit. I don't think he's got his good stuff yet. He's still down around 83, 84 miles an hour. Once in a while so far he has reached back and gotten a little extra, but I think he's still fighting it a little bit.
Hit hard to Scott at third. The inning is over, but not before Arkansas regains the lead on an error and a couple of base hits. It's 2-1 Arkansas. Bottom of the 4th inning is coming up. And for Mississippi State, Big Pen, Mitchell and McDonald will bat. Bottom of the fourth inning coming up in Omaha. Arkansas leading Mississippi State 2-1. Irv Brown is down near the dugout area. Irv?
Hey, you think that all it is when you play poker, deuces are wild? I'm going to show you deuces are wild. This is what this means right here. Jim Price, when you played ball, they did not do this with the caps. This means deuces are wild. You got
it? Either that or put something in the cap.
Right fielder, Bobby Thigpen.
Here's Bobby Thigpen. Grounded out to second base in the second inning. Now in the fourth, Arkansas scored a run in the top of the first inning. Bulldogs came back with a run in the bottom of the third, but Arkansas answered that in the top of the fourth. So it's a 2-1 ball game as we set up the middle part of the order here. Hitters 5, 6, and 7. Thigpen in the College World Series batting .500, 2 for 4. One ball, one strike. One thing I've always liked about Gus Steiner when he works behind the plate, he leaves no doubt as to whether it's a strike or a ball.
We hear him all the way up here on the roof.
3-2-1 now.
John, 3 pitches. First one a curveball as we take a look at Steiner behind the plate. Second one a fastball. The next one a changeup. He's really mixing up his pitches.
Gus has been here many times before. Hit hard into right center field. Jackson will not catch up with that one. It one-hops against the wall. Thigpen is on his way to second. He'll stop with a double. So now it is Mississippi State's turn to try to answer. Thigpen gets the double. His 12th of the season.
Thigpen, his 12th double on the year. Batters number 15.
Coach Ron Polk working at third. Running the show.
Boy, he always does. And if you're a Mississippi State fan, you got to like what Thigpen did. Fastball out over the plate. He did not try to pull the ball. He went with it and hit a double.
John Mitchell. 0 for 1, fly to center. Takes a breaking pitch for a called strike.
You know what his job is. Get the ball to the right side and get Thigpen to third base.
Called strike 2. Defensively, they're giving him all of the right side. The second baseman is near second. The first baseman is over toward the line. There's a large hole between first and second on that side.
Very interesting defense in this situation.
Maybe they figure he's not going to be able to pull the ball.
Well, then that puts pressure on your pitcher to throw the ball away from him.
Certainly does. One ball, 2 strikes. He hits it to the right side and through that big hole. They'll hold the runner at third. Oh, we saw it plain as day.
Well, they opened up the barn door on the right side, and that was some good hitting by Scott because he had 2 strikes on him, and he knew the job that he had by Mitchell, and he knew the job that he had to do. It was a slow breaking ball. He goes down and gets it and pulls it through that big hole that John was talking about. Now, nobody out, men on first and third.
All he really did was just turn his hands over a little bit, try to roll it to the right side.
Really did. Maybe in the scouting report they knew something we didn't know.
Well, it puts runners at the corners with nobody out. Brings up Rourke McDonald, who walked his last time up. That seems to be his specialty. Rourke McDonald drawing bases on balls. As a matter of fact, McDonald walked 3 times in the game against Oklahoma State. So he's already walked 4 times in the College World Series. Ball 1 to him here.
The infield at first base, holding the runner on a course at third base. The third baseman's about even with the bag. The shortstop and the second baseman are going to play in double play depth.
And again, the big hole is on the right side because Roby is shading towards second. The ball is popped up on the right side. Into foul territory goes Patterson. 1 out.
Well, that's a big pitch from Farwell and a big out. Nobody out, men on first and third. You need a strikeout or you need a pop-up. He got the pop-up.
So that sets the stage for a potential double play that could get the Razorbacks out of this fourth inning unscathed, and it'll be up to John Scott. It was Scott who had the game-winning RBI, or got credit for the game-winning RBI in that big win, 12-3 for Mississippi State over Oklahoma State.
The Bulldogs need production from this part of the lineup. All the cards are in Coach Ron Polk's hands. He can hit and run. He can squeeze. Put the pressure on the defense. Farwell realizes that.
Kind of thing you might expect when you get down to this stage of the order. A little off-balance throw by Farwell to first. Patterson is able to handle it. The number 8 batter is up with the number 9 batter to follow. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 out, 2 on. Great location with that pitch. A long look down at Coach Ron Polk at third by John Scott. Up and away. It's 2-1. Herb Brown, is anything in the works down there?
Hey, we're looking at Ron Polk, John. Ron has not squeezed since he was here at the College World Series. I believe it was 3 years ago. Remember we called the play? It backfired. He says, I ain't doing it anymore. You guys are a jinx. True story.
He meant you were the jinx.
You got it right.
Another throw to first by Farwell. Mitchell is the runner there. Thigpen the runner at third. 1 out in the inning for John Scott. 0 for 5 in the College World Series, but he does have an RBI on the fielder's choice. Grounds this one hard to third. They'll go to second for 1. If they can turn the double play, the inning is over. So Farwell gets out of the jam. Arkansas maintains its lead. We have played 4 in Omaha. It's 2-1. The Razorbacks leading the Bulldogs. Richardson, Wilson, and Roby are coming up for Arkansas. The Bulldogs and the Razorbacks are hooked up here in Omaha, Nebraska. Right now, Arkansas has the lead 2-1. They have won 17 consecutive games. You can see that they have strung out the teams, the opponents, and that includes Mississippi State. Making their way to Omaha, Nebraska, winning 1-0 over South Carolina in their opening game, the very first game of this, the 1985 College World Series. They have been busy. The South Carolina game took them 14 innings. Here we're in the 5th inning. It's 2-1.
I told you New York Sam Rosen was here.
Well, you have to work with him on Wednesday. Are you in trouble? Here's Derek Richardson. Arkansas leading by a run. Derek struck out. Brantley has 4 strikeouts in the game. Tried to bunt. Farwell has struck out just 1 and walked 1 tonight. 3 hits in the ball game for Arkansas, 5 for Mississippi State. But it's the Razorbacks who have the lead 2-1. Popped up down the right field line. Clark near the grandstand area. That's the first out. Here's Herb Brown again.
Hey, that guy is a little sweet, isn't he? And Brantley continues to pump down here, fellas. Very, very consistent. Gives you a lot of leg, a lot of glove. What's interesting, Jim Price, if this guy was 6'2" and weighed 210 pounds, the scouts would be going wild over him. But because he's 5'10", you know, a lot of times you think that's a big difference. I like him very much. I like his arm speed, like what he does out there.
They used to call Marty Patton the Bulldog. Mr. Brantley's got a little bit of that in him as well. Doyle Wilson is 0 for 1, grounded out to second his first time up. Brantley has given up 2 runs, and 1 of them is unearned. The second Arkansas run set up by an error back in the 4th inning. We're now in the 5th.
Herb Brown,
Yes, sir.
I want to talk to you about Brantley. You made some good comments, but to me, it looks like he's still fighting it tonight.
Line down the left field line. It's a fair ball and a base hit. Doyle Wilson around first, on his way to second. The throw is not in time. It's cut off by the shortstop, and it's a one-out double for Doyle Wilson. So Wilson gets the double. For Doyle, it's number 10 on the year.
Jim, your thought is that he's fighting it as far as his motion?
Yeah, he is. Now, like this pitch here, he hung the ball, got way off the line. He drilled it down the left field line. Now, I saw Brantley pitch against LSU when we were down in Starkville during the season, and he looked to me like he had much better stuff, and his fastball seemed to be much more alive. Tonight, it looks lazy to me.
Well, once again, his fastball was only at 83 when I went back and checked with Bob Oldus on the gun, and I intend to get back there. In fact, I'm due to do that pretty quick. But
yeah, but Irv, you know, even if he's throwing 83, 84, the ball can still be alive. It doesn't look alive tonight.
Yeah, well, you make a good point, Jim. Once again, from ground level, it looks like that one was very quick on the hands, and he did his job. Let me watch a little more, and we'll get back to you.
And the other thing is the hitters aren't getting cheated. They're not being fooled at all up there.
Well, that is correct.
It is Ellis Roby. Struck out his first time up. A one-out double for Doyle Wilson. And again, we touched on the way John Scott plays third, giving up so much of that line. And that ball was lined down the left field line.
Another indication that Brantley doesn't have his stuff tonight, and they can line balls like that over the third base area like that. Normally, maybe it didn't happen during the season when he had his good stuff, John.
Well, once again, his coach, though, Ron Polk, will stay with him and see if he can't work his way out of it. Because that has been his history. When he gets in trouble, he battles back. Well, he's got some battling to do right here with a runner at second, one out. Arkansas leading 2-1. Ground ball to short. Hits the runner. The runner will be out. And the batter will be aboard. Credit the put out to the shortstop. Second time already in the College World Series we've seen that happen.
Well, that's not the play you want to happen in this situation. Wilson was in scoring position, would have been at third base, but he runs right in front of the shortstop.
Trying to screen him a little bit on the ball.
You always try to screen him a little bit, hesitate a little bit, but the ball hit him right off the heel and bounced over the shortstop's head. You don't want that in this situation. Now you have a man on first instead of a man in scoring position at third base.
And Ellis Roby gets credit for a base hit. So 2 hits in the inning. The hits are even at 5 apiece. Krause is the batter. He tripled to start the ball game and scored the first Arkansas run.
There's a lot of ways you can score from third base, but from first base you got to take less ways to get home. At third base, a wild pitch, a pass ball, a balk.
Yes, it's a little easier from third than first. We're at the top of the order. Krause batting for the third time, and we're in the 5th inning. 1-1. The 1 ball and no strikes to count with 2 outs. Doyle Wilson doubled and then was hit by a ground ball off the bat of Ellis Roby. It's Roby at first. Wilson back to the dugout.
If you're wondering, Brantley is 1-1 or 1-2 to the plate as we take a look at the third base coach flashing the signs. Very quick to the plate.
It's Doug Clark handling the signs to Ellis Roby. Ball tails away 2-0.
It's been a good combination with McDonald and Brantley because McDonald is about a 2-2, 2-3 release to second base, and that means the runner's got to get down there in what, 3.2 or 3.3.
Well, we were told that both pitchers, Brantley and Farwell, have good speed, quickness getting the ball to the plate. The runner going, and the ball is sliced into left center field. Palmero there to cut it off around third, and heading for home is Roby. He'll make it, and it's 3-1 in favor of Arkansas. An RBI double for Ralph Krause. He has been busy tonight, and the Hogs add to their lead. For Krause, RBI number 36. Now in synchro motion, we'll have 2 tapes going, and you can watch the runner getting the signs from the coach and watch the action as it unfolds, because we just talked about how tough it is to score from first base on the play, and he managed to do it. The coach at third is Clark. Synchro motion. Both of our tapes are rolling at the same time. As you watch, he sees the ball hit, and he's already at second base. Now he's got to pick up his coach And Clark is going to send him all the way, and with good speed, no problem for Roby to score.
And the good reason he picked up his coach is because Palmyra, even though he cut the ball off, he dropped the ball. He would not have been able to score if Palmyra would not have dropped the ball.
Kraus not credited with a double, instead a single. But he does get credit for the RBI. Patterson 0 for 2, reached on an error in the 4th inning and scored. Single runs in the 1st, 3rd, and 4th for Arkansas. There's a strike by Brantley. 1 and 2. Two outs. Just misses the corner. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Richardson opened the inning, fouled out. Doyle Wilson doubled, but he was erased when a ground ball off the bat of Ellis Roby hit him on the foot. Roby scored all the way from first on a single by Kraus. Foul back.
You'd like to have that pitch back. That was a hanging curveball that Patterson had a good rip at. There we are, some of Omaha's finest, getting a free seat and a good view of the ballpark.
That is Jim Price's personal escort crew right there.
They can escort me anytime.
Deuces are wild again. It's 2 on. It's 2 and 2 with 2 outs. Grounded through the left side, base hit. Kraus around third, headed for the plate, but he's going to be stopped. Palmyra with a good throw to the plate. Doug Clark made the right call at third on that one. But the inning is still alive.
Patterson once again drills it through the hole between short and third. He made a good play. Both players made good plays on the ball trying to get it. Palmyra hustled the ball in, and the runner was not able to score.
So runners at first and third. Remember, there are 2 outs in the inning. There have been 4 hits in the inning by the Razorbacks. Doug Clark. Somebody told me that Doug Clark used to play for Irv Brown. Is that correct?
Well, I tell you what, he doesn't look that old. Played for our good friend Irv Brown. Irv, is that true?
1 game at 7-10.
He may be back checking the speed gun right now. Conversation at the mound is concluded. Everybody heads back to the dugout.
You know what? Nobody's still warming up in the bullpen for Mississippi State. We reminded you earlier that they will stay with Brantley. You always stay with your aces longer than you would your maybe your 3rd, 4th, or 5th pitcher.
3-1 is the score. Arkansas leads Mississippi State, and the Razorbacks still doing business here in the top of the 5th inning.
They're not getting cheated at all.
Sacrifice fly and a single for Loggins tonight. Pops this one foul, out of play.
Well, he's got a good swing, John. Looks like a hitter when he steps in there.
He is hampered by the injury to his heel, and he hit himself with the bat.
Well, he wanted to go downtown. 3 hitters before him hit back-to-back home runs. He wanted to be the 4th in a row, so he jacked up a little bit and injured himself.
Pops this one foul. Will also get out of play here in Rosenblatt Stadium.
Even though they're hitting Brantley tonight, he still challenged them. He said, hey, let's see you do it again.
Kraus is at third. Patterson at first. 2 outs in the inning. Loggins is now 1 for 7 officially in the College World Series 1985. Throw over to first by Brantley. Back in plenty of time is Patterson. This is game 7. The winner will play again on Thursday. The loser comes back on Wednesday. Chop toward shortstop. Davis is there, flips to second. The inning is over, but not before the Razorbacks of Arkansas add 1 more run to their total. They now lead Mississippi State 3-1 as we go to the bottom half of the 5th for Davis, Van Cleve, and Thiessen. The Bulldogs and the Razorbacks going at it here in Omaha, Nebraska. This is the end of the inning. There's more to follow. Well, we thank you for joining us for this NCAA championship event, and you can continue to be a part of it if you would like, because you can order the official program of the 1985, the 39th NCAA College World Series. Send $5, check or money order to Box 1985A, Lexington, Kentucky, 40502. Again, it's $5 to Box 1985A, Lexington, Kentucky, 40502. The only thing missing in the program is a picture of Jim Price and Herb Brown, but we're going to do that next year.
Well, I happen to have about 10,000 leftover pictures from my major league career.
You mean they were not big hot items in Detroit? Sure they were.
I know Herb Brown has a couple.
The number 9 batter, Frank Davis, will lead it off. Davis grounded out his first time up. 7 hits for Arkansas, 5 from Mississippi State. The Hogs lead the Dogs 3-1. Fred Farwell gave up a run in the 3rd inning. Will Clark rattled the boards with a triple to drive in Gator Thiessen. That's been it. It looked like Mississippi State had something started in the 4th. Big Pen a double, Mitchell a single. And there's a drive to center field, base hit for Frank Davis. So the 5th inning opens with a base hit for the Bulldogs of Mississippi State. They try to go to work against Fred Farwell.
Farwell would like to have that pitch back because that one was out over the plate, allowing Davis to get his arms extended and send it right back into center field. A line shot, good piece of hitting by Davis. And they need that support from the bottom end of the order, John.
Well, that sets the table certainly for Van Cleve, who will follow, and Thiessen, Clark, and Palmero as the big guns start to load it up for Mississippi State. Dan had a base hit, stole second in the 1st, and grounded out in the 3rd. Batting now in the 5th, his team down by 2. It's 3-1 in Omaha. This is the 7th game of the College World Series. Ron Polk here for the 3rd time as head coach at Mississippi State. 79 and 81 he was here. We at ESPN are delighted to be here for the 6th consecutive year. We started in 1980 with coverage of the College World Series, and it has certainly grown. We are glad to grow with it. Certainly hope you enjoy it. We enjoy it every year, coming to Omaha. Foul at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike.
John, the infield continues to really give that big hole between 1st and 2nd. You notice the second baseman, Roby, really playing over a lot closer to second base than you normally think he would with the left-handed hitter up. Even though Van Cleve, the first 2 times up, did hit the ball just about the area where he's standing.
And you know, there are some holes in the infield because with the 3rd baseman in and the shortstop back, the ball hit hard to the left side is going to get through in a hurry.
Creates a lot of holes.
So there's some room on this infield right now.
Of course, don't forget, these teams have scouting reports. We don't have the scouting reports they have. We have our own. So they know the tendencies. They've played against each other before, and both these coaches are very astute gentlemen on top of the game plan.
It's 2-1. To Van Cleve. Good pitch right on the corner. As Jim Price always says, if it's not in your zone, you can't handle it, don't swing. Wait for another one.
That's right. You get 2 strikes on you. That's Ted Williams' theory. Of course, Ted wasn't too bad in his great years, was he, John?
Fairly decent stroke, I would say.
I read his book 800 times.
Did it help?
You don't. Now, let's not get personal.
It affected your eyes, probably. You read it too much.
Very good. Thank you.
Herb Brown.
Jim Price, toughest situation in baseball, in my opinion. Left-handed pull hitter, runner at first. You got to hold him on. You really can't throw the slow breaking curveball. Too big a gap.
Puts a lot of pressure on your defense, especially your catcher, Irv.
Down the left field line. Jeff King goes over to take a look, as does Norm Roberts, but it's out of play. So Dan Van Cleve will have another crack at it here in the 5th inning.
Irv Brown, are you still there?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
You know what that pitch just was?
No, slow
curveball.
And he went the other way with it. Shows you what I know. I'm getting out of town. I'm going on vacation.
Please. A couple of real geniuses working here tonight. Bottom of the 5th inning. Runner at first is Frank Davis with a base hit. Nobody out. Goes the other way with that one, too. And in left field, Norm Roberts backing up. Brings it down, and back to first goes Davis. So they knew something about Van Cleve. He did hit the ball the other way, and he is retired on the fly ball to left.
And again, it was another breaking ball.
And now with Thiessen coming up, a little conference at the mound between Patterson and Farwell. While Gator waits. Bunted for a base hit in the third inning, came around to score the run for Mississippi State. So Thiessen officially 2 for 8 in the College World Series.
Oh, save some for us.
It is Omaha, Nebraska, College World Series, Game 7.
She said no.
I guess she turned you down.
How rude.
But then you've seen that happen before. Called strike. One out, one on for Mississippi State in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Bulldogs need a pair. 5 triples for Thiessen. Well, they'd like one of those gappers here, wouldn't they?
Well, they sure would. They need to get something going. I can't say enough for this young Farwell, the way he has moved the ball around and kept the hitters off balance.
Goes outside, kicks off the catcher's glove. On his way to second is Davis, and he's there. Well, you have to wonder sometimes if maybe he wasn't crossed up a little bit on the pitch. As he moved, tried to backhand the ball.
I don't think he was crossed up, John. The ball just tailed a little bit away from him, and he had a lazy glove hand that time and bounced off the glove. He was on it. Just a mistake by the catcher, which will happen once in a while.
And it is a passed ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Runner at second now for Mississippi State. Ground ball to short. Richardson looks the runner back, throws to first, 2 outs. So Thiessen is retired, and still at second base is Frank Davis.
First baseman, Will Clark.
Here's Will Clark. It was his triple in the 3rd inning that drove in the run for Mississippi State. Good size, 6'1", 177, a junior from New Orleans, Louisiana. Batting with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs now.
Let's try to guess with him. Last time up, he hit a hanging curveball for a triple. Ooh, you know what? He came right back with just about the exact same pitch, but
it was off the plate enough that Will Clark didn't want to swing at it.
He's looking for that pitch that he can do something with.
Well, in the 3rd, it was a 2-out situation, and Clark hit one to deep right center field off the wall. Has 23 home runs on the year. A dinger here would tie the ball game. It's 3-1. Arkansas leading Mississippi State in the bottom of the 5th inning.
I like the way Will Clark handles himself around the plate. Doesn't try to pull the ball. He'll take what the pitcher gives him, and he drives it.
Way outside. You get in this situation, too, because of thunder and lightning. It's very difficult to pitch around him. First base is open, but there's no treat waiting in the on-deck circle, and Rafael Palmeiro. That one drops over for a strike.
What you're saying is very true, because very seldom do you have those type of hitters in college baseball, or in any league for all that matters, to have the type of statistics that they have batting behind each other. What a real plus.
Goes fastball. He goes the other way with it to deep left field. Roberts to the warning track to the wall. It's gone. The ball game is tied. Will Clark went the other way with it. A home run for him. His 24th of the season. And the Bulldogs are right back in it in Omaha.
The young man that has been thrilling them for 3 years now at Starkville, Mississippi. Man drafted number 2 by the San Francisco Giants, because not only can he get base hits, he can hit them like that. He guessed that right. Guessed right that time. A breaking ball. Didn't try to pull it. Went with it and hit it out of here.
That brings up Rafael Palmeiro, who takes ball 1. He does go the other way for his 24th home run of the year. 75 RBIs now for Will Clark. He has driven in all 3 of the Mississippi State runs. We start over. It's 3-3. Palmeiro goes the other way, but this one not deep enough. Roberts will put the glove on that one. The inning is over, but Mississippi State comes up with 2 runs. We move to the 6th. Brand new ball game. It's 3-3 here in Omaha. For Arkansas, as they go back to work, it'll be King, Roberts, and Jackson. Now the folks in Starkville have seen this many, many times. One of their favorites, Thunder in front of Lightning. Will Clark with a long home run to left field. And this is the one that ties it for Mississippi State. Deep to left. Goodbye into the night in Omaha, Nebraska. Stay with us here on ESPN. We'll continue our coverage of the 1985 College World Series. Can't catch him if you can't get to him. We have seen some of the offensive attack already tonight that Mississippi State and Arkansas possess as they come in with very similar records. A little higher batting average for Arkansas. The run production similar, home runs similar, stolen bases fairly similar. They're alike a lot offensively, and that's why they're dead even at 3-3, right?
Well said, John.
We go to the top of the 6th. The hits are even at 7 apiece. The score is even at 3 apiece. That makes it a 4-inning ball game now. Maybe. Arkansas went 14 innings in the opening game of the '85 College World Series. Breaking ball outside. King got a base hit his last time up to drive in the second Arkansas run. Razorbacks with single runs in the 1st, 4th, and 5th. Mississippi State picked up 1 in the 3rd and 2 in the 5th on the home run by Will Clark. Three balls and no strikes. Brantley is still trying to find the groove. There's a strike. King officially now in the College World Series, 2 for 7. Fouls it off, and the count goes full of 3-2. It was 3-0, but Brantley, the senior from Birmingham, Alabama, has battled back against Jeff King. King, a sophomore from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Hit hard, fair down the left field line. It'll roll into the bullpen area. King, on his way to second, is in with a double. So Jeff King picks up the double. And for Jeff, his 26th two-bagger of the season.
Well, King jumped on a hanging breaking ball. Scott way off the bag at third base, and he wraps it between Scott and the third base bag, and that is a routine double.
Second double in the ballgame for Arkansas, in addition to a triple.
And now Mississippi State is going to loosen somebody up in the bullpen.
Hustling down, starting to crank up the old arm, is Steve King.
You're wondering what he's doing now. That's probably a leaded baseball that he has in his arm. It helps loosen it up a little bit quicker.
Roberts the batter, nobody out. Razorbacks threatening to regain the lead, and Brantley works the outside edge.
See if Roberts gives himself up and tries to go the other way to get the runner over to third with less than 2 outs.
He was trying to do that, missed it. 0-2.
Roberts in there with a very closed stance, and the one thing that he doesn't do now is he's closed right there. See his left foot? He doesn't pull away. He'll stride right back towards the pitcher, keeping his hips and shoulders in there.
Fouls it back and remains no balls and 2 strikes.
There's many ways to get to the dance.
You know, it's always a pleasure to come to Omaha, and part of the fun is the people that we get to know, and one of them is Lou Spry. And the problem is that we haven't seen Lou Spry yet. This is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, the first 4 days of the College World Series, and Lou hasn't been here yet. That's almost a tragedy for those of us that come here. But we do understand that Lou is going to be here tomorrow to resume his role as the official scorer for the College World Series. So Lou, hurry up. We were waiting for you.
We miss you, Lou.
Got him swinging.
Well, he did try to give himself up and go the opposite way, but this time Brantley was the best of them.
Center fielder, Mark Jackson.
He got a piece of it, but not enough.
Brantley, the bulldog in him, showing right here, fastball out away from the batter. He can't get it. Brantley likes it. Says, give me that ball back. Well, he looks like a bulldog, doesn't he? A lot of confidence.
He's ready to take a bite out of Mark Jackson. Runner at second, 1 out now. There's a leadoff double for King. He's still there. Goes the outside part of the plate again for the strike. Jackson is grounded back to the pitcher and grounded out to third. There are some clouds moving into Omaha, but we are not expecting, I don't think, any storms until maybe later we might get some rain, but no problem. We'll get this one in.
Right after the game, John.
Right up the middle, base hit. King around third, headed for the plate. The Razorbacks have the lead again. So King cashed in. Brantley touched again for the 4th run. It is 4-3 in favor of the Razorbacks. Hard hit ball right back up the middle, and I'm sure that Brantley didn't throw it where he wanted it.
Well, he did not, John. We pick up McDonald giving him the signs. He gives him the fastball signs. See him hit the inside of his thigh. He wanted the pitch inside. But we can all see where his glove is in the inside part of the plate. It's right down the middle. The batter was able to drill it right back to center field. That time didn't hit the location he wanted.
Ball went right back up the middle. Now it's Derek Richardson. Fouls it out of play.
This Arkansas team just keeps coming after you inning after inning.
Well, I think both these teams will. I think we've only seen the beginning of this seesaw affair. Arkansas jumped to a 1-0 lead. Mississippi State tied it. Then it was Arkansas with single runs in the 4th and 5th, taking a 3-1 lead. Will Clark took care of that with a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 5th inning. And then right back comes Arkansas here in the 6th. It's 4-3. Diving back to first is Jackson. 14 out of 16 in stolen bases this year.
Well, they're loaded with speed all the way through their lineup. They can manufacture runs when they have to. They can create things.
1 out in the inning. Brantley's now given up 9 hits. Count even to the ball and the strike. Good long look down at Doug Clark, who's coaching at third. Richardson has struck out and fouled out. Fouls that one out of play. 1-2.
You know, it is a disadvantage in Arkansas for recruiting at the University of Arkansas, because in the state of Arkansas there are not a lot of high schools that play baseball. So they therefore they have to go out of the state, or they have to bring kids in that have not played a lot of baseball and really work with them on fundamentals like they have done with so many of the kids you're seeing in tonight's game.
Well, 7 of the 22 eligible players on the roster for Arkansas are from that state. It was close, but Richard Zivik said no. 1-2. Let's see if the Razorbacks try to stir it up now. Infield set at double play depth. Again, Scott giving away the line at third. Second and shortstop bunched toward second. Ground ball to second. Not in time there. On to first. Not in time there. Clark had to come off the bag to make the play. They kept out of the double play because Jackson was running. So now there are 2 on with 1 out. A run in.
Well, the runner at first, Jackson, was going on the pitch. It was a hit and run. The ball is hit to second base. Thiessen is covering the bag. Now he tries to beat the runner of the bag. He can't do it. Then he wheels to throw to first base and pulls Will Clark off the bag. Both runners are safe.
So runners at first and second. You look down from our vantage point in Omaha to a conference in the center of the diamond. Brantley in some trouble again. Richardson at base on a fielder's choice. They attempted to get Jackson at second. Could not recover at that point. So it's not a base hit. It's a fielder's choice that puts him aboard. But the inning continues for Doyle Wilson. He doubled his last time up as 1 for 2. Called strike. One indication of how soft this dirt part of the infield here is how much dust we see all the time.
Every move that's made by the base runners and the infielders, they stir up dust. And I've noticed when the runners are rounding third, sometimes they actually slip a little bit and go down to one knee and are able to regain their balance and keep going. But the infield is fabulous, a lot better than it's been in earlier years when it was a lot harder.
Jackson and Richardson, the runners. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Got one up in his eyes and he couldn't handle it. Doyle Wilson, the catcher, 1 for 2 in the College World Series. The junior from Chandler, Arizona. Ground ball back to the pitcher, to the second baseman for one on to first. That'll do it. The inning is over. But Arkansas has regained the lead as they pick up a run on 2 hits in the inning. Bottom half of the 6th coming up with Arkansas leading 4-3. Thigpen, Mitchell, and McDonald are due up for the Bulldogs. And we'll find out if Mississippi State can rebound once again here in Omaha. We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Stay with us. We'll be back. We hope that along with us at ESPN, you'll want to renew your love affair with the 1984 Los Angeles Olympic Games, because you'll get a good opportunity to do just that. It starts on June the 29th, right here on ESPN. And for the next 16 consecutive days, we'll bring you the excitement, the thrills, the heroes who made the headlines in Los Angeles. It starts June 29th for the 1984 Los Angeles Olympic Games. And I know it's high on Jim Price's list of things to do for 16 days in a row. And to look at some of our men at work, and we go to one of those men at work, Irv Brown. No, that's not Irv Brown, is it?
It looks like Irv. He doesn't have his mic on. That is a Miami Maniac, mascot of the Miami Hurricanes.
And the official mascot of the College World Series, because he's not just here because Miami is here. He gets a trip to Omaha whether the Canes make it or not. You look in from left field. I love that angle.
Beautiful sight, good-looking ballpark.
And it's time for the Dogs to go to work, because the Hogs have regained the lead 4-3 here in the 6th inning. And it's Thigpen. A double in 2 at-bats tonight. Thigpen, Mitchell, and McDonald trying to bring the Bulldogs back once again. They trailed 1-0, tied it at 1-1. They trailed 3-1. They tied it at 3-3. They've not had the lead, but they keep coming back. Bottom of the 6th. Sweeping curve for a strike. 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Arkansas. Mississippi State 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, and that 1 error was costly because it produced an unearned run for Arkansas. Rolled in front of the plate. Farwell throws him out.
Another reminder.
So the bottom of the 6th is underway. It continues to be a rather cool early June in Omaha, especially in the evenings. A little bit of wind. We've seen the wind from various angles, starting from the west and the northwest, northeast, now basically out of the east tonight. Not as strong as it was over the weekend. Flag in center field. Basically straight in tonight. But as Will Clark proved, you can get it out of here.
There are a few fellows on each team that can turn this win around.
Mitchell is one of them. Had a home run. Mississippi State's big win over Oklahoma State, but now he's looking at an 0-2 count. He won't be thinking about home runs here. Left field. Roberts, 2 outs.
Farwell hasn't thrown a ball yet this inning. He got the first 2 pitches over to Thigpen, both curve balls, and now he comes right back and has still not thrown a ball.
You know, this is a pretty easy game for a pitcher if you throw strikes, right?
It sure is. It sure is, and we should tell Gary Ward that at Oklahoma State, because
I'm sure Gary has mentioned that to his pitchers.
Yes, same with Coach Holliday, the pitching coach.
McDonald had a word with the umpire. Now returns to the on-deck circle. Farwell will wait. It's the bottom half of inning number 6. 4-3 is the score. Single runs for Arkansas in the first, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Mississippi State with 1 in the third and 2 in the bottom of the fifth. Now McDonald is leaving. 4-3. Sixth inning. Arkansas leading Mississippi State. Farwell will use this opportunity to keep that left arm loose. Now he's back and ready to go. Two outs, nobody on. Bottom of the sixth. Game 7, College World Series for 1985.
You'll notice this inning, Farwell has seemed to pick up his pace a little bit, John. You think it could be because of the threatening clouds? Because if the game is rained out tonight, they would pick it up tomorrow night and complete the game. But I get the feeling that he's put it into overdrive a little bit this inning.
Well, of course, there might be a little adrenaline pump, too, if his team keeps coming back and regaining the lead for him. He probably figures, hey, I better do something about this.
Well, we've touched on it the whole game. Both these pitchers work quickly. It's an advantage not only to the viewers and the fans, but also the players behind you.
2 balls and 1 strike. Rourke McDonald made him wait a while. It is a gorgeous night here in Omaha, Nebraska, and this is the way it looks from behind the dugout, down the first base line. You zoom in on the action with us. 3-1 the count on the batter. McDonald walked 3 times in that 12-3 victory for Oklahoma State. Over Oklahoma State by Mississippi State. He's walked once tonight.
And you better believe he's going to be taking here, don't you think, John?
3-1. Down by a run, 2 outs, need a base runner. Of course not.
That's why I'm up here announcing.
3-2.
That was not a good pitch to swing out. That was a pitcher's pitch, low and away on the outside part of the plate. But Coach Ron Polk says, hey, you get one you like, try to hit it out of here. That time, Farwell won the war.
Full count with 2 outs.
Same location.
Not the same result. So for the 5th time in the World Series, Rourke McDonald walks. It's the 2nd walk issued by Farwell, both of them to McDonald. And the number 8 man in the order, John Scott, coming up. John is 0 for 2 tonight, 0 for 6 in the College World Series. He's flied to center and grounded into a double play. 1 double play by Arkansas, 2 turned in by the
Mississippi State. Ron Polk, you realize you have 9 outs left.
Center field. Center fielder fell down. Jackson recovers. And it's the left fielder who comes over to bail out the play, but he can't catch it. The runner's at second. They've called him safe. It was Jackson's ball all the way. He fell down. Norm Roberts then coming over from left to center, trying to save the play, and he couldn't hang on to the ball. The second base umpire, Pedersen, went all the way out to call him safe. Davis will get credit for the strangest double we've seen so far this week.
It would have been a routine play by the center fielder, but as you can see, he slipped and fell down. No way he could get in to get the ball, but the left fielder made a great play. But just when he tries to pull the ball out of his glove to show it that he had it, it slips out of his hand. Now, that's a judgment call by the umpire. He has to make the decision if he had the ball long enough. Watch him now. It's in his glove. He'll go to get it and pull it out of his glove. As he does that, and the umpire's right on it, it slips out of his hand and falls on the ground.
Collectively so far, 50,782.
Just a fine try by the left fielder.
Compared to the record year, 1981.
Well, again, as you say, it's a judgment call.
45.
You know what the judgment is of Norm Roberts. But it is Dan Pedersen who has the final say. So it's a leadoff double in this, the 7th inning.
John, that was a questionable call. I personally felt that he did have the ball long enough, but the umpire has the last say, and I'm sure that Arkansas Razorback fans out there will agree that they thought he had the ball long enough because he was trying to bring it out of his glove and show it to the umpire.
Well, Van Cleve now in the 5th inning. Frank Davis started the inning off with a base hit, moved up on a pass ball, scored on a home run by Clark. It's 4-3. Arkansas by a run.
He wants to get that runner over to third base. Nobody out, tying run on second base. Van Cleve knows the job he has to do. Veteran ball player. He's been there before.
Twice before, the Bulldogs have come from behind to tie this game. Arkansas led early 1-0. It's tied 1-1. And Arkansas again 3-1. Clark's homer made it 3-3. It is now 4-3. That drops over for a strike.
Van Cleve doesn't agree with the umpire. That was a hanging curveball, backed up a little bit, and he thought it went around the plate. The umpire said no, it got enough of the plate. Coach Ron Polk decides he wants to talk it over with Van Cleve, talking over the situation, telling him again the job that he would like him to do, and that is advance the runner to third base.
Ron will take charge, flash the signs, direct traffic. The Bulldog fans trying to come to life to give their team a lift here in the 7th inning. They need a run. It's 4-3. Arkansas 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Mississippi State 3, 8, and 1. Farwell looking the runner back to second. Not a big lead at second for Frank Davis. It is 1-2 as Van Cleve got a piece of it at home plate.
It's always interesting to see the battle between the hitter and the pitcher, especially in key situations. Now, you know, John, that Farwell doesn't want him to pull the ball. Van Cleve is up there for one thing, and that is to give himself up and pull the ball. It's always interesting to see these games within games. The catcher moving behind the plate, giving the sign, either high and tight or low and away, so he can't do anything with it. He's going outside this time.
Puts it on the ground with a bunt. It is a foul ball, and the batter is out. So out on the play is Van Cleve, trying to bunt. Ron Polk is going to argue. Frank Davis has made his way to third.
Ron Polk is asking for help. He's telling him to ask the first base umpire.
Well, you be the judge.
Well, Van Cleve will square around to give himself up, but remember, he does have 2 strikes on him. Puts his hands up the bat, bunts the ball, and did not hit him and stayed in fair territory.
Let's take another look from another angle, see what we can see. What we really need to see is whether the ball comes out into fair territory. See, it hit right by the plate.
Hit right by the plate, and Van Cleve stepped across the plate.
Well, see, he had called it already foul at that point. Either that or he said that it hit the batter.
Well,
we'll have to see what the official ruling is.
We'll have to get an official ruling, because from the first angle that we had, the ball did not hit him. The ball did not hit Van Cleve. So he had a feel that the ball hit foul.
We'll check with the official score and find out.
Batter number 5, Gator Thiessen, second base.
We're going to check and get an official ruling on that, because the ball from the angle that we had, John, did not hit Van Cleve.
In any event, there is 1 out in the inning. Davis has been returned to second. He's there for Gator Thiessen. Thiessen is 1 for 3. Down the right field line, slicing toward the line, it drops into fair territory. Around third and heading for the plate is Davis. He scores. We're tied at 4. On his way to third is Gator Thiessen. So So we are even again. The Bulldogs have battled back for the third time in the ball game. The word from the official score on the previous play is that the ball started out in foul territory. It's a foul ball and
came
2
back
strikes.
into fair territory.
But I'll tell you what, Gator Thiessen settled the argument with a triple.
He really did, John. He hit a slicing semi-line drive just inside the right field foul line that Krause was able to corral in one bounce. But then when he caught the ball, he went sliding into the screen, and Gator Thiessen was able to end up on third base with a triple.
So Dave Jorn goes to the mound to have a conference. I'll tell you what, the umpires have earned their money in this inning because the first play was a controversial play.
Yes, it was. That was a controversial play. Again,
the ball, was it caught by Norm Roberts or not? The umpire ruled it was not caught, was not held long enough for the out. So that put him at second. Then Van Cleve trying to bunt, thought he had laid down a good bunt. There was an argument as he was called out because the ball was bunted into foul territory. Well, Gator Thiessen then tripled down the right field line, sliced one right on the foul line, bouncing away from the outfielder. Davis scored on the play, and Thiessen winds up at third. Still just 1 out, and we are dead even again at 4-4. Hits are even again at 9 apiece. But there could be some more coming for the Bulldogs because Thunder and Lightning have had a conversation and will take their weapons to the plate. They will bring the infield in. It's a 4-4 ball game. 1 out. Dietz goes back to work in the bullpen for Arkansas. Missed inside. Now all Will Clark has done tonight is triple and drive in a run, homer and drive in 2. He owns 3 of the 4 RBIs for Mississippi State. Up the middle, base hit. The Bulldogs have the lead for the first time tonight. 4 RBIs in the ball game for Clark. Mississippi State has battled back to take the lead.
well, that time Will Clark took advantage of the drawn-in infield fastball. He wraps it right back through the middle. Farwell can't make the play. The go-ahead run comes in. Clark on first base with a single.
So 2 runs here in the inning. It's 5-4 Mississippi State. Rafael Palmeiro now. He's 0 for 3. Hot shot to first. It's fair. The out is recorded there. Clark winds up at second base.
John, we've seen just about a little bit of everything this inning.
Well,
you were re-describing it a little bit earlier, but starting off the inning with that questionable call in left field, the ball dropped, then the Van Cleve play, the triple down the right field line by Thiessen, then the base hit by Will Clark through the drawn-in infield.
There are 2 outs.
You know, that home run that Will Clark hit the last time at the plate was his 60th career homer. And that made him number 2 on the career home run hitting list in the Southeastern Conference, right behind Rafael Palmeiro, his teammate, who has 66.
It is 5-4. Mississippi State leads Arkansas. We've got more. Stay with us. It is 5-4. Mississippi State leading as Tim Dietz comes on in relief. The 6'3", 200-pound junior from Tulsa, Oklahoma, will try to pick it up for Fred Farwell, who's hit a snag here in the 7th inning, a very wild 7th inning in Omaha, Nebraska, as Mississippi State has scored 2 times to regain the lead. So Farwell is on as the new pitcher for Arkansas. Or not Farwell, but Dietz is on. A 1.93 earned run average, 5-1, 12 saves in 42 innings of work. He is appearing for the 32nd time, all out of the bullpen. He's the ace. He's the stopper. Of course, they'd like to get to the 8th inning before they have to bring him in, but Mississippi State didn't go along with that plan.
No, they didn't. And you notice there in the graphics that he's only given up 20 hits in 42 innings of pitching. Boy, that's dynamite pitching, especially in the key situations that he comes in. We take a look at Fred Farwell in the dugout, 6 2/3 innings, 10 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned runs. He did a good job tonight, but just wasn't able to hold back the Bulldogs. There's no doubt about it what he's going to do in the game. He's a side armor. He relies on a sinking fastball and a hard slider.
Well, they'd like to get the final out in this inning. keep Will Clark at second base, and let his team come back one more time in the 8th inning. Bottom of the 7th. 2 runs in for Mississippi State. The Dogs now lead the Hogs. Thigpen is 1 for 3. This will be a little change. You go from a left-hander to a submarining right-hander.
You talk about a contrast in pitching. You got to be a little bit quicker now as a right-hander. You got to turn it up a little bit.
Kicks away from the catcher. Clark does not try to advance.
And also the catcher's got to turn it up a little bit. There's also a contrast for the catcher.
Two balls and no strikes with 2 outs. Clark at second. Will Clark with a 4 RBI game. That's in the strike zone. 2-1. We are beginning to see, especially in the younger pitchers, college level, more and more of the submariners. It's a foul ball. Another pretty good one in this tournament by the name of Rick Rather, and that one got all of Bobby Thigpen. He's down.
Well, we're not laughing at him. We're laughing with him because, crying with him because that really smarts. No protection down there, and that will happen from a submariner or a sidearm, or especially to a right-hander, because the ball, when he comes down sidearm, it puts a lot of spin in, and it turns in on the right-handed hitter. This will go up and in on him. Thigpen steps into it, but the ball is way in. It hits off the bottom of his bat and gets him right in the tootsie, and that's smarts.
Down he goes.
But you're right, John. There are more and more youngsters starting to throw sidearm. There's less pressure on your arm. It's more of a natural way to throw, and you get natural movement that way.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runs in. Foul back. We'll do it all over again.
Well, that time he came back with the same motion, the same position of the arm, and he came with the slider because he figured Thigpen that time, you know, I just jammed him. I hit one off his tootsie. I'm going to go away from him this time.
It's 5-4 Mississippi State. Missed with a fastball, 3-2.
Thigpen really concentrating. You not only have to gear up your bat speed, but you have to gear up your eyes a little bit. Be that much quicker, that much more alert when a pitcher like this comes in with the speed that Dietz has.
Ground ball to third. King is there. The inning is over, but not before Mississippi State puts together 3 hits and they score 2 runs. 8th inning is coming up. It's now Mississippi State by a run at 5-4. Arkansas will send up Loggins, King, and Roberts. Oh, we had a wild bottom half of the 7th inning. Several questionable situations. Controversy in center. That started it. Controversy at the plate. Well, the final result, Rob Polk's ahead. Everybody comes equipped with a sign or a smile, one of the two, and they want to put them on television when ESPN is here for the College World Series. That includes the folks from Fayetteville, but they've got some business to attend to on the field as well. It's 5-4. Mississippi State. 8th inning. And the Bulldog Brantley is still out there.
Yeah, we thought for a while that he may not be there, but you hit the nail on the head. He still is in the game. Irv Brown?
Jim, here's the situation down here. I just had a little conversation with Pat McMahon, the pitching coach. They want to go with Brantley. Here's their guy. He's their battler. He has not held a lead all night long. If they can't do it, if they have to make a change, they'll go with Thigpen. If it's a guy that they can get with a fastball, Steve King will come in if it's a curveball. This is the guy they do want to close.
Thank you very much, Irv. And thank you to the Miami Maniac who just stopped by to bring us some pictures of his wedding, since we were in attendance at that event.
Yes, we were. That might be the longest wedding in history, if I remember right.
No question
Mr.
about
Maniac.
that. We have the pictures to prove it here, too.
Thanks
See,
for
he
the
did
pictures.
get married.
Hi, Mom.
Always a
Hi,
pleasure
Dad.
to see you. 0-2 the count on the batter. Loggins hits it into left field, base hit. So back come the Razorbacks. Loggins was his second hit in the ball game. He's 2 for 3 tonight.
Well, you mentioned it earlier that Irv Brown did. He hasn't held a lead yet. That ball was up, and Loggins went the other way with him. Again, location continues to hurt Brantley.
Well, of course, he hasn't had the lead yet till now.
Right.
He hasn't had a lead to hold, but he hasn't been able to keep him down each time his team has gotten even. It was 1-0 Arkansas, then it was 1-1. It was 3-0 Arkansas, then it was 3-3. 4-3 Arkansas. Now it's 5-4 Mississippi State. But the tying run is aboard for Jeff King. He doubled and scored his last time up. Jeff is 2 for 3. Outside corner called strike. It is still King warming in the bullpen. Steve King has thrown an entire game out there by now.
But it's that time of the game, as Irv Brown did say, and I think I'm right about this, that it's Thigpen territory. Bobby Thigpen, the right fielder who has a fantastic pitching arm. He's a fireballer. He'll be ready to come in if they need him.
Fouled back and out of play, 0-2, and again Brantley gets ahead in the count. He was 0-2 on Loggins, and he got a base hit.
Important to pitch ahead. So much easier. You can control things on the mound. Keep the hitter off balance, guessing more.
They want it away, obviously.
Purpose pitch, John. Let's guess along with him a little bit. Nobody out. You've got a runner on first with good speed. You're up by 1 run. You're ahead on the count. 2 strikes and 1 ball. That was a waste pitch away. See if he goes back to the breaking ball in the same area.
Slapped into right field. Loggins around second. He'll stop. Runners at first and second. Nobody out. It was a breaking pitch away. A good job of hitting by King. He just reached out, flicked it into right field.
Well, that's what it's all about. You have to guess. You have to guard the plate. It was a breaking ball in the same place, the same position where he had thrown the fastball before that. But King, knowing he had to protect the plate, he hit the ball to right field. Now, men on first and second, nobody out. And I think that's going to be about time for the pitching coach to make his little trip to the mound, John.
Coach McMahon does indeed head to the mound. Let's just try to figure out here what Pat is going to do. King is ready. Bobby Thigpen is still in right field. It's the top of the 8th. The tying run is at second. There's Thigpen in right. The go-ahead run at first in the person of Jeff King, with Roberts, Jackson, and Richardson due up.
I think Brantley may have just talked himself back into the ball game.
Well, we'll see what he can do with Roberts. Irv, downstairs to you.
Well, once again, you know, this is the guy that they want to go with, John, because he is tough. He's a bulldog. If they feel that they just cannot do it, and once again, I hate to be redundant, they have not held the lead all night long. If it's a guy who doesn't handle a curveball, it'll be King. If it's a guy you can blow the ball past, it'll be Thigpen.
Okay, Irv.
11 hits now for Arkansas, 10 in the game for Mississippi State. It's a 5-4 battle here in the top of the 8th. Foul back.
And Brantley has thrown 112 pitches, so he has thrown a lot of balls tonight.
Now you know that this senior from Birmingham does not want to leave the lineup. Looking for his 45th career victory at Mississippi State. An All-American. Foul back. Darkness now surrounds Rosenblatt Stadium. Game 7 of the College World Series. More action coming up tomorrow. We'll be back live here in Omaha, 8 o'clock Eastern time for Miami and Texas.
And Arkansas,
recent champions.
John, Arkansas not wanting to sacrifice to move the runners up.
That's Loggins at second. He's actually behind second. King will lead off first. They each singled in this 8th inning. Nobody out. 2 on.
All right, fastball inside.
There's a fastball away.
Great.
Count remains no balls and 2 strikes.
I swear the catcher gave him the sign inside, didn't he, John?
And then he sat up outside. I thought he was going to come back inside, and he didn't.
He crossed us up because normally after you give the sign, you give the pitcher the sign, you give the location by tapping the thigh where in the side of the plate you want it to go. He tapped the inside part of his thigh. Now he went to the outside, so this should be outside. Thank you.
Still 0-2. Norm Roberts just guarding the plate right now. Can't really handle those outside pitches, but he's looking for a mistake, obviously.
Well, good hitters can fight off the good pitches till they can get something that they can handle or put in play.
Now he wants it inside. It's up and in. One and two. Singles by Loggins and King to start the 8th inning. Arkansas has led 3 times in this game and now find themselves behind. The battle continues.
Will Clark hustling over. Ball out of play.
It was 1-0 Arkansas, 3-1 Arkansas, 4-3 Arkansas. It's now 5-4 Mississippi State. It's been a good one.
We have had some good games already in the College World Series, John.
Well, Arkansas has been involved in a couple of nail biters.
They sure have.
14 innings to beat South Carolina 1-0. 8th inning here. They trail by a run at 5-4. Ground ball to short, kicks up high. Thiessen turns it over for the double play. Good job by Davis. He stayed with it, gave it to Thiessen, on to Clark. 2 outs with a runner at third.
I can't tell you how good that double play was because Roberts can pick him up and lay him down. The ball almost hops over Davis's head, but his quick reaction gets it over to Thiessen, who really gets rid of the ball fast at second base and guns it to first base to Will Clark to get the fleet-footed Roberts.
So now 2 outs with a runner at third. Jackson, 1 for 3 in the game. He drove in the 4th run. The go-ahead run at that time in the 6th inning for Arkansas. Pops it up. Into foul territory. Scott gives way to the shortstop, and it's Davis squeezing it for the final out. They dodged the bullet in the top of the 8th inning. Still Mississippi State by a run. It's 5-4. The Dogs will look for some more as they come up in the bottom of the 8th. Well, the decision was made in the top half of the 8th inning not to bunt with runners at first and second. They kept the bat in the hand of Norm Roberts. Turned out to be a double play and helped the Bulldogs escape a jam, and they go to the bottom of the 8th, leading 5-4 over Arkansas. Jim, you called it. You said they have the confidence in him. They had the thing that they wanted to do, so the decision was made by Coach DeBryan. So it's the bottom half of the 8th inning. And Mitchell will lead it off. Ball strike.
Dietz is so used to coming in late inning games with men on base that you'll notice that he pitches from the stretch even when there's nobody on base. Feels more comfortable that way.
And that's another thing you'll see more and more relief pitchers doing these days. Pitching from the stretch no matter the situation.
They do it more than they do pitch from their regular motion, so they get to feel more comfortable and more confident that way, John.
Over the pitcher's head. Ellis Roby behind second. 1 out. The Razorbacks down by a run. They've got one more chance in the 9th inning. And it's the bottom third of the order. Richardson, Wilson, and Roby due up.
With the sinker ball that Dietz throws, you know your infield is going to get a lot of work. A lot of ground balls.
McDonald 0 for 1. He's walked twice. He's 0 for 2 in the College World Series with 5 walks. Got a piece of it. It's foul.
Trying to cross up everybody a little bit, but I think they were looking for it.
slider.
Oh,
Was that a wicked slider?
I don't want to get in there. Boy, that was a great shot. Dietz goes down under. Very difficult to pick it up to see what he's going to throw, and then it breaks sharply away from the right-handed hitter. Good slider.
Went with a sinker for a strike, and that's it. I tell you, I'm not sure. McDonald didn't know what to sink.
Oh, man. I'll tell you, you need volunteers to bat against that.
John Scott, third base.
That's the first strikeout out of the bullpen for Tim Dietz and John Scott. Fly to center, grounded out twice, once into a double play. Bulldog defense has done a good job behind Brantley. They have 3 double plays in the game. 1 double play turned in this contest by the Razorbacks. Roll toward third. On to first is King in time. 1, 2, 3. No problem for Dietz, but it might be a problem for Arkansas because they trail by 1 after 8 here in Omaha. Game 7 of the College World Series for 85. Richardson, Wilson, and Roby will try to pull it out. If your favorite colors are maroon and white, you're happy. If they're cardinal and white, well, you need some help here in the inning. It's 5-4. Mississippi State leads Arkansas.
And the Razorbacks know they're down to their final 3 outs, and I should say, John, that Bobby Thigpen, the right fielder, took that opportunity to loosen up in between innings down in the bullpen.
So Steve Clements will bat for Richardson. Clements pinch hit on Friday night. He's 0 for 1. 5-4 for Arkansas, 4-11-0. Mississippi State 5-10-1. Swinging at the first pitch and fouling it back is Clements. Steve, 21-year-old senior from Vancouver, British Columbia.
Went a long way to play his college baseball.
Into short left field, that could be a problem, but coming on quickly was Palmeiro. Palmeiro played him very, very well. Was not deep. Ball was not hit very hard, and Raphael was there for the first out.
The catcher, Doyle Wilson.
So now it's Doyle Wilson. Outside. Wilson and Ellis Roby. Brantley trying to battle and battle and battle and complete another game. He has 3 complete 9-inning games this year. The other 5 of his 8 complete games were 7-inning complete games. There were times it did not look like he'd be around at the finish.
Well, you called it. He battled and battled. He did not have his good stuff tonight. Still does not have his good stuff, but he's with his moxie and his confidence, he's able to stay out there and hang tough.
We'll have another pinch hitter coming up next. Jim Kramers is already out on deck to bat for Ellis Roby. 5-4. The Bulldogs leading the Razorbacks by a run in the top of the 9th inning. 2 outs. 6 strikeouts for Brantley.
Well, it makes you admire the young man that much more because we've touched on it all night. He's had to battle and battle hard. That time he did reach back and for one of the better fastball he's shown us tonight.
Jim Kramers, number 7. Kramers, batting for Roby.
Kramers to pinch hit for Arkansas. Jim, a freshman from North Little Rock, Arkansas, batting average of .245. At one point today, he was penciled in as the starting DH. But when Loggins was able to go, they put Jim back on the bench. He represents the last swings for Arkansas. Fouls it back, and now it's 0-2.
And Brantley doing what he does best, getting out in front on the count.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Mississippi State could be one pitch away from continuing in the winner's bracket, doing exactly what they would like to do, bring back Gene Morgan on Thursday. Morgan was the pitcher last Friday, so he'll be well rested. That is it. A battle for Brantley, his 7th strikeout. He picks up his 18th win of the season, and he earned it. Final score tonight, Mississippi State continues undefeated in the '85 College World Series, beating Arkansas 5-4. We'll have a final word from Omaha, Nebraska coming up shortly, so stay with us. We'll celebrate a little bit with the Bulldogs. They win another 5-4. It was power against power here in Omaha, Nebraska tonight. At the plate in the 5th inning, it is Will Clark. He goes deep on Fred Farwell. It was a big, big night for Will Clark, the 2nd player drafted today in the baseball draft. He drives in 2 of his 4 RBIs here. Farwell comes up on the short end. Mississippi State beats Arkansas 5-4. That's the final tonight. They advance to a Thursday round game against either Miami or Texas. That's the matchup that we have tomorrow night, live, 8 o'clock Eastern Time from Omaha, Nebraska's Rosenblatt Stadium, as we continue in this 1985 College World Series. Jeff Brantley wins his 18th of the year. He was in trouble several times, but he gets the victory tonight. Mississippi State moves on. For the losers, Arkansas next to play Stanford, but the celebration belongs on the 3rd base dugout tonight. For Herb Brown and Jim Price, I'm John Sanders. Our final again, Mississippi State 5 and Arkansas 4. Good night.